And we are back here on KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin, 95.1 FM, 790 AM. KFYO, it is Thursday, and it is 7:35. And on line one, that must be the Car Pro, Jerry Reynolds. Good morning.
Well, good morning, fellas. How are y'all?
Well, we're pretty darn good, I have to say. And so you're getting to ride in a Beamer this week, huh?
Yeah.
382 horses.
Yeah, and it's not a great big car either, So that 382 feels more like a little over 400 to me.
Now, Jerry, answer this question honestly.
Okay.
How many speeding tickets have you gotten in the last year?
I wish you hadn't asked that, but I'm knocking on wood.
You don't have to answer that.
No, I'm telling you, I'm knocking on wood right now. I have not had a single one in the last year. Now, a couple of years ago, I went through this bad streak, and I was on deferred adjudication in 4 different counties around Dallas-Fort Worth, and that's the truth.
Man, and they didn't talk to each other and say, hey, this guy's gotten a few too many.
Oh.
Apparently they don't talk to each other.
Well,
That's
hey,
impressive.
You've got a good excuse. You have to explain, look, this is my job. Speeding is my job.
That's got me out of a few. I keep my media press card right next to my driver's license. And so almost everything I drive has got out of state plates, because the cars that they give me.
Oh, and police love out of state plates.
Oh yeah, they do. I mean, today this BMW is from Michigan. Last week I had a car from California. The week before that it was New Jersey. It's a different life, but I have been on a pretty good roll the last year.
And Dave's trying to ruin it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said I wish he hadn't said that. But I tell you, this car is super fast, and real BMW lovers know that there's just nothing that drives like a BMW. There's something very unique about the suspension and the handling of these cars that, if you love a driver's car, by that I mean, a car that you get behind the wheel and you really can concentrate on driving the car, BMW is fantastic. This one, it's relatively small inside. It had a little more back seat room than I thought. It was loaded right at $67,000. And a lot of people think the M340 is the M BMW, and M BMWs are like AMG Mercedes.
Right.
They're very unique. This is not that car. This is something right in between. You've got the 330, the 340i, which is what I'm driving, and then you go to the M3, which is the fastest BMW out there, and a lot more money, well over $100,000, but right at 500 horses. So, this car kind of fits the niche right in between. This car in comfort mode is a really nice luxury car. But then you get to Sport Plus mode, and everything changes. The exhaust comes alive. It will downshift itself for you when you start to slow down, which feels really good. You can shift the paddles on the steering wheel if you wish, but one thing I've learned is when you get a car with that much horsepower, you can't shift that car as fast as it can shift itself. So I don't generally. I mean, I'll try the paddles just to see what it's like, but typically I just let the car shift itself.
There's just something about a shifter.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. It's cool, especially in a car like this. So I'm done with it for the week, and I've got a Dodge. No.
Are you doing another 2 week?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I got the new Ram 1500. And, guys, I can't wait to show you the pictures of this one and the interior. This thing's got a 12-inch computer screen right in the center of the dash that is a vertically mounted iPad, pretty much. And talk about a cool truck, man. $69,000 on the wind sticker of that one. So I'll be in it the rest of the weekend. I'll be trucking around North Texas.
So let me ask you this. You said this is a Dodge, right?
Well, not anymore. It's all Ram now.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's a Ram. So I just remember back in probably I would say about 2002, 2003, I was looking to get another vehicle, and so I test drove a new Dodge, and the ride was probably the roughest truck I've ever been in. I mean, it was just flat out like driving a 70 model truck or something.
Yeah.
Is Dodge or Ram, have they made those a little smoother?
They've gone the complete opposite direction. In fact, I will tell you this Ram, the new 2019, when it came out, it is the best ride, and I will put the interior quietness of this truck up against any Lexus made. It's unbelievably quiet, and the ride is great. It's got some unique features. It's got a leveling system. All four corners will level themselves. So if you hook a trailer to this thing and one side or the rear squats down at all, it will exactly level itself. And that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
Especially if you're hauling heavy loads or if you're pulling a trailer. It is kind of a big deal. So great truck, 5.7 liter Hemi, plenty of power, still good gas mileage out on the highway. Chrysler does a great job with cylinder deactivation, which means when you're running 65 miles an hour out on the highway or 70, you're only running on 4 cylinders, and you can't tell it. You have to look at the dash to know that the power has been cut in half. But then if you need to go past somebody, that 8-cylinder kicks back in and you're gone. And again, you just can't feel it at all.
So that was technology that was done kind of by Chevy, and I know that some of the early models in the beginning were fine, but now they're getting older or having some issues with that, and some of them have even turned that off. But have they perfected that technology?
Boy, it looks to me like they have. I hear very few issues with that anymore. At one time in the early stages of this thing, I mean, Cadillac actually put one of these out in the 70s. It was called an 864, and it was a disaster.
Well, Jerry, let me ask you, does that thing really save you any gas mileage?
Yeah, absolutely it does. When you're out on the highway and you're only running on 4 cylinders, you're definitely saving gas. And the other thing I like, too, is you're turning so few RPMs that it cuts down on engine wear.
Yeah. Well,
and to me, that's a big deal.
I bought this new Highlander a couple of weeks ago, and it's got this thing. Well, I guess a lot of cars are doing this now. You pull up to a red light, and the engine stops.
Drives me crazy.
It drives me nuts, and I cannot believe that you're saving a sip of gas in doing that.
I don't either. They say 10%. I don't believe it. I wrote an article. It's on my website about this a few years ago. And you know what we don't know is the long-range effects on the starter.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that and the starter's so much more expensive on those cars.
Oh, for sure. Now, every car that I get in has got it, but you kind of get in the habit of hitting the start button and then turning that off. And it's a 2-step process for me every time I get in the car to get it going. I turn on the car, turn off the start-stop system.
Now, it automatically is going to you have to turn it off every time you start the car, right?
You do.
Okay, you've just given me a good bit of information.
So, all right, Jerry, I'm going to jump over to carprousa.com just because I have to have some information, and we're running out of time. How do you win a 1965 Ford Mustang?
Listen to the show.
You've got my I guess I'm peaked a little bit here.
You can buy raffle tickets at one of the Ford dealerships here in Dallas. There's 4 of them. Or you can listen to the show, and we'll be giving away raffle tickets for the drawing, which is coming up Monday, believe it or not.
It's a nice-looking car.
It is.
Was it the $1,995 model?
I think it was probably more than that because it's an automatic transmission with air.
Oh, yeah, it was more then. Because I remember a good friend of mine in high school bought a 1960, I guess 4 or 5 Mustang when they first came out, $1,995. It had a 3-speed, standard shift, an AM radio, and a heater.
Yep, that was it.
And another thing that I see on there is you've got the pictures up from the Supercar Showcase.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, we had a blast out there last Saturday. $100 million worth of cars sitting around you. That feels pretty good. There's some pictures there. And the State Fair Texas opened last week. We were there for Media Day, And I've got a lot of information on new models that are just about to come out, including the Jeep Wrangler diesel.
Hmm. That's interesting. I didn't even know they were making a diesel.
Yeah, it's just about to hit right now. And boy, I tell you, I'm kind of looking forward to that.
All right, Jerry, we've got to run, but just want to remind, huh?
I understand.
Yeah, we just want to remind everyone 11 to 1 on every Saturday that you can listen to your show. And hey, this time you might get a raffle ticket to win a 1965 Ford Mustang, so you don't want to miss that. And also carprousa.com. That's where you go to get all the information we've been talking about.
Guys, thanks a million.
All right, thanks,
Thank you.
Jerry. Have a good day.